Hey, this is Johnny Jet, and this is my 39 travel questions. And today we have Jon Haggins, who is the host of GlobeTrotter TV that airs in New York City on Spectrum, channel 1993, is it?
That's right. And we're on 10 times a week. Can you imagine that?
10 times, 2 million people. I've traveled with Jon before. We went to
Italy.
in Italy, and he is a fantastic guy. He's also a very sharp dresser. I try to up my game. I'm usually wearing a t-shirt, but I was like, I got Jon Haggins here. I gotta up it.
You look great.
Jon used to be his first job. I take it was your first job. You're a fashion designer.
That's right. For a number of years. And then I left that and came into the travel thing, which I thought was terrific.
Yeah,
you get to see the world.
FIT in New York City, Fashion
Absolutely.
Institute. What's the T? Technology? No.
Fashion Institute of Technology. They also had a recent exhibit, including me. That's the fourth one that they've had, which I think is amazing because they still relate to me in fashion, which I haven't been in fashion for more than 35 years. So it's really weird that they still remember it.
Listen, how can they forget you?
How
can they forget you?
Oh, easily.
No one can forget you, my friend. Also, I don't know if I ever told you this when we traveled together, but my mom went to Parsons School of Design.
Really? I didn't know that.
She was supposed to be a fashion designer, but she met my father just after she won her scholarship to Paris, and she said she turned it down. She said she decided to design a family instead of a dress.
Well, the family's more important.
And here I am.
Exactly. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been here.
That's right. All right. So I'm going to give you some quick questions.
Okay.
Where were you born?
In Florida.
Florida.
La Farida.
I don't even know where that is.
Florida.
Oh, Florida. I thought that you were saying a city. Sorry.
No. Actually, I was born in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't stay there very long.
Florida?
Yeah.
How about, and you live now in New York City?
Forever. I've been here for a long time. I feel like a New Yorker after all these years.
And you went to FIT, you studied design.
Right. Opened my company right after. It had a great success with all the editors and editorials. As a matter of fact, the Schoenberg Library has my whole collection of editorials, which is like 12 boxes from my fashion period, which I think is amazing. I should go up and see them, actually.
Heck yeah. You should do a TV show around it. Are you kidding me?
Oh, okay. I'll think of that.
It would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
How about that?
I'm sure your viewers would too. So how many countries do you think you've been to?
I honestly don't know. I've never counted, but there are so many more that I still want to go to, which I think is amazing.
Right. I know you've been to a lot because I've seen your travels and you've been around. How about continents?
I think all the continents except Australia.
You've been to Antarctica too?
I'm sorry, is that a continent?
Yeah. So you've been to 5.
It's cold. I don't like cold.
We have actually, I've been interviewing a lot of people lately, and most of their answers have been 5. They've been missing Australia and Antarctica. Fortunately, I've only missed Antarctica, but I hope to get there one day.
Yeah. So you like cold?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not into the cold either. I'm not into that.
No.
So how are you doing with the quarantine? You're in the epicenter of New York City. And
actually, I'm actually having a good time because I'm catching up with a lot of things that I haven't done in a long time. Plus, I'm writing another book. So therefore, it keeps my mind busy and I'm thinking and just sharing all of these wonderful ideas. Yeah. And places, of course, and food and drinks.
So you have 5 books, correct?
5 books, right? And working on the 6th.
The African American Travel Guide, Yes I Can, Chasing Wild Ass, my favorite title.
Oh, yes.
Jon
and you did
Haggins,
a photograph, actually. You did a photograph for that, which I'm going to use on the next cover, and I've given you credit for it. It's the one on the river, on the lake.
I remember taking that photo.
Yeah, everybody loves that photo. Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you. So what will it take for you to get on a plane again? Would you fly tomorrow?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm staying very close to home. And even after they open everything up, I will stay home still because I have things to do. And eventually I'll get on a plane, but it's kind of scary. You know, you think about being enclosed and spreading the germs and wearing a mask. How do you eat with a mask? You know, that sort of thing. And also having a mask for 7 hours, that's really difficult.
For sure. I'm waiting to see too. I'm waiting to find out how things play out. I'm like, you know what? If other people want to be the guinea pig, go ahead. I'm staying home. I'm staying safe. I got 2 little kids. I got a 91-year-old father. I'd love to go visit, but I just can't take the chance.
Oh no, absolutely not. It's a very scary time, you know.
It is. But it's also a beautiful time where we get to spend time with our families and to realize how lucky we were. I mean, not that we took travel for granted, but you know, before there was something going on, we would just jump on a plane and go to that area that's not happening. But now this thing's taken over the whole world. So you really,
Unbelievable.
it made the
It's
world so much larger.
Oh, well, you know what's so strange is all the wonderful places that we love to travel to are quarantined. So we can't go, unfortunately, and you can only think about it. But I can write about the places that I've been so that I can relive them, which I think is a great way to express the whole feeling that I have for travel and my
Sure.
passion.
I agree. So what is your earliest travel memory?
My earliest travel was traveling with my granddad through Florida. And as an adult, I think I was about 22, I was told by a friend on the streets of Manhattan that there was a trip to Rio for $365. I told 40 friends, we got on the plane, and we had the best time of our life. It was during Carnival, and it was amazing. So that was my first memorable excursion outside of the country.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a way to do it, huh? Carnival.
Oh, and so cheap. $365, including the hotel, the air, and the transfers. I mean, what can you do? I mean, what can you get for that?
No kidding. Holy cow. So what is your favorite American city besides New York City?
I like Key West. I like Boston. I like Chicago, and New Orleans, of course, the party town.
You are a partier. How about internationally?
Internationally, there's so many places that I love. Tunisia is one. Brazil is another. Well, Brazil, because you have Salvador, you have Rio, the state, which has all of these wonderful places like Parachi and so forth that are just so fantastic. There's so many places. You know, there's Malaysia, there's Cambodia, Vietnam. I mean, Fiji, Tahiti. You know, you name it.
Yeah,
It's an amazing thing when you travel and you see and experience the culture and the food and the people. The people are so marvelous around the country, around the world.
they are. Speaking of people, where do you think the friendliest people in the world are?
Everywhere I go, actually, I've never had an experience of a bad experience. So it's just amazing. I remember being in Tunisia and I was leaving, and the store owners waved out, "Goodbye, John." And I thought, well, that's really wild.
That's awesome.
It's, you know, and it's just, there's just so many and so many great friends that you meet around the world, which I think is fantastic.
Well, again, it's what you put out, and you are such a friendly person. You're always smiling. So I'm not surprised by that answer.
Well,
I've seen it firsthand.
well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
How about so do you have an answer for where do you think the meanest immigration officers are?
Oh, well, I had the strangest thing happen in Amsterdam, coming back from wherever I was coming back as a stopover, and going through TSA. The guy unzippered the guy's zipper, and I said, "What? What is that about?" A pervert. That was really weird. And I thought, I have never seen that in my life. What is he
Wow.
doing that for? But actually, the TSA, they're very strange. I mean, you know, some are very nice and some are not necessarily. They take everything too seriously.
Yep. Is there any place you have no desire to go to?
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah.
May
And
I
I'll
ask
tell you
why?
why.
Yeah.
I was invited to a lunch here in New York, and I arrived, and my name was on the list, and they wanted 3 IDs. So I gave him 3 IDs, and he said, "Well, say your name." I said, "It's on the ID." He said, "You have to say it." I said, "Give me my ID. I'm out of here." I said, "If you're that crazy, I'm not going to go." I said, "I'm not going to a place that's that paranoid."
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've been, and actually their security made my wife cry leaving Israel because they
Oh,
ask you so many questions.
oh my God.
But once you're there, you feel so safe and secure. And unfortunately, I think Israel needs to do it because they're such a target. But it is a beautiful place, and I do think you should go. And I think you just got to get over the security part. It's kind of like, coming to America sometimes. People are like, TSA here is terrible. But, TSA doesn't represent America.
No, that's true. But my mother's been there. She loved it. She thought it was a fantastic place to go, you
Yeah.
know. But it's just my feeling about that experience. It just sort of freaked me out.
Right. I understand. And you will see that all around. But anyway, how about favorite U.S. airport?
Oh, airport. They were all the same, actually. I don't know
Internationally
why.
too?
They're all about the same. You know,
Okay.
you arrive, you get out, and you get going. And you just try to experience the destination rather than thinking about the airport or flying. But it's the fastest way to get there. That's the unfortunate part of it, that you
It's,
have to fly in order to
that,
get there.
that's true. How about h- drink of choice on the ground or in the air?
Vodka tonic.
Vodka
Very little
tonic.
vodka, lots of tonic. And then we do the float. You know what the float is? You take
No.
a little vodka, lots of cranberry, and then a splash of orange, and then you take the vodka and you go like this on the top and you don't stir it. And it is what we call the float. Lucia knows about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's my cousin Lucia that we have a mutual friend. Well, she's related to me, and I didn't
Well,
realize.
she's your friend too.
Yes, for sure. Um, Speaking of floating, do you like cruising?
I do. I do enjoy it. I took one as a holiday not too long ago, and I felt like I was so exhausted by the time, because there's so much to do, and I wanted to do everything. And I'd get up at 6 in the morning, and I'd be in the gym doing whatever, and then I'd go to the spa, and then by 9 I'm at breakfast, and you're on and on and on, and you do the tours, and it's fantastic. The only problem is you have such a short stay at each destination, so you really don't have a chance to really take the essence of the destination. You really need to go back and visit and be on the land for a while so you can really explore.
That's true. Very true. Have you done river cruising?
I have, as a
In
matter of fact. I did it, and then on the Nile, for instance, was one. Where else? I've done it other places, but I don't remember
Europe?
offhand.
You've done a European?
I haven't done that, and I want to do that.
That's
Have you done
surprising that
that?
you haven't been on that.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I've done it many times and I loved it. I love it. I really do. And I think I'd go on a river cruise first before an ocean cruise after COVID-19.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because also it's a smaller ship,
Small.
and we're supposed to go, and somehow we never quite made it, unfortunately. But and it was through France, which would have been absolutely incredible. Um, but these are the things that we have to look forward to,
Yeah,
things you haven't done.
for sure. How about your favorite restaurant in the world?
Right now, it happens to be, and I sent a note out to everybody that my favorite restaurant for 2020 is the Leopard, which is here in Manhattan. And it's a wonderful Southern Italian restaurant with great cuisine, great host, and it's just a marvelous place to be.
And what street's that on? Or what
It's
area?
actually it's in the Des Artistes. You know Des Artistes on 67th Street West.
Okay.
It's 1 West 67th Street. And
Okay.
it's just amazing. And they have murals on the wall, and there are great stories about the murals, as a matter of fact. The owner was telling me, Gianfranco, Gianfranco, actually, he told me that those murals are absolutely, they're historic. They go back to the 20s. And the guy, because all of these starving artists were living in the building, he didn't ask because he wasn't around then, but they asked the artists to paint the murals, and in exchange for food, because all the artists were poor at that time. So he took 10 years to paint the murals.
Wow.
which is really
I can't
phenomenal.
blame them.
He got quite a few good meals out of it. And there's some great stories, about that particular restaurant. And it's just a lovely place to be. And he cares about, he has 3 restaurants actually. And each one is he has one in the Rockefeller House, which is a great restaurant too. And then he has one up the street from there, which is, fantastic, unbelievable.
Well, I look forward to going back to New York City and trying them out. What's the craziest thing you've ever eaten on your travels?
Durian.
Singapore?
The stinky fruit. Actually, I had it in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Or was it Thailand? I think it was in Thailand. And it was the stinkiest thing I've ever had.
It is the stinkiest, but it doesn't taste too bad once you can get over that.
Well, get over that smell, That was weird. Other than that, everything else has been wonderful.
Yeah. How about your best hotel? Favorite hotel?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I like the one in Timersa in Tunisia is a favorite.
Yep.
But there's so many others that are also favorites Villa Sebelloni is another favorite.
Yeah, the one we went to in Lake Como.
Yeah. Yep. And which was an old palace, and they converted it into a hotel.
Yeah. How about best hotel view that you've witnessed?
Oh, there's so many of those. I think Lake Como is quite sensational. Sensational, absolutely.
It is.
Looking over the lake and the valley and the Alps and just so much going on there in
Yep.
Bellagio.
How about, is there a certain credit card you use when you travel?
Well, it depends. Some people don't take Amex, so they'll take a Master or a Visa. So it all depends on the establishment.
So you bring both.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too. How about favorite island in the world?
I think Bora Bora.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, almost everyone I interview, they say Bora Bora as one
Oh
of
yeah.
them.
Well, I had the funniest thing. I was on a ship when I did all the 5 islands. And what happened when I got to Bora Bora, I wanted to experience the island. So I got on a bus and I met these people who had a foray over the sea, over the water. And so I wanted to get that experience. I wanted to go and see it. So I did. And then I thought, how do I get back? So I didn't know how to get back. So I put up my thumb and a truck picked us up and brought us back. And someone says, John, what'd you do today? I said, oh, I hitchhiked. And that was a lot of fun.
Only you. How about your favorite beach in the world?
Oh, I love Ipanema. Ipanema is a great
in
beach.
Rio. Beautiful.
Yeah, and I have a certain spot that I like, a section. I think it's 19. And you get your chair, you hire the chair for the day, you have your caipirinhas, and you go to sleep, and you wake up, you have another caipirinha, you go to sleep, you wake up. At the end of the day, you get a bill. You don't know what you've had, but you've had a great time.
That's awesome. Are you adventurous at all? What most adventurous activity have you ever done?
Oh, I think riding an elephant and a camel and things like that, or zip lining. That's another crazy thing, or ATV, through the forests. It's very funny because I put up a picture on Facebook where I'm on an ATV with a mask. And I said, how apropos because of what's going on now.
True. And where was that, by the way?
And Acapulco.
Okay. Favorite travel movie? Any movies that inspired your travels?
I can't think of any right now, unfortunately.
How about favorite travel TV show besides your own?
Well, actually, I like Andrew Zimmern, who eats all those weird things. I
Yep.
think he's kind of wild. And there's a channel called AWE, AWE, and it has a lot of travel and luxury homes and cars and all that sort of stuff. And there's some shows on that I like very much.
Oh, good. Actually, I just interviewed one of them, one of my friends, Ashley Colburn. I think she has a show on there.
Oh,
A luxury
good.
show.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many incredible shows on that station.
There are. How about books? Do you read a lot? Do you have a favorite travel book or book that you like to read?
I have more books than you can imagine, and I use them for reference, as a matter of fact. And I love, I just love all the books that I have. I have people say to me, why don't you get rid of them? I said, no, they're my treasure. I have to have them. And I'd rather than, the ebook, I really prefer turning the page in a book the old-fashioned way.
Right. Yeah, my dad, same way. He would not let us throw out his books. I was like, listen, they're all moldy now. Don't touch my books. All right. How about your worst travel moment?
I don't think I've ever had one.
I like to hear that.
But, the interesting thing was that I was on the Charles Bridge and in not Budapest, where was it? Prague. And we were changing hotels. So I had my wallet in my back pocket and my passport in the front. And someone came up behind me and I said, why are they so close? I had no idea. An hour later, I reached and my wallet was gone. And someone said, I can't believe it. You're still laughing and you just lost everything. I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. They didn't kill me. So you just have to go on, And I went a whole week with no money. It was really crazy, but I had the most fun. And the last night, everyone said, we're going out for drinks. Why don't you join us? I said, I have no money. They said, we know you have no money. And I said, I have to get back to the hotel because I have an early flight. They said, well, take a taxi. I said, how can I take a taxi? I have no money. So I stayed in the hotel. I talked to these girls from Lithuania. We had a great time. I got up the next morning. And when I got to the airport in New York, I said, the taxi driver, I have no money, but when I get home, I'll pay you. And that's what I did. And it worked out fine. Again,
it's only you. That's why everyone around the world loves you. And when you say when everyone's friendly, it's really because of you.
Well, it's because of you too. I mean, you have a glow about you.
Well, thank you.
A halo.
How about what's your most embarrassing travel moment?
I don't think I've ever had one.
Come on, John. You didn't like forget the wrong shoes or you forgot your pants.
Nope, nope.
Well,
Uh,
you
oh,
are.
actually, it wasn't embarrassing, but I remember being in. It was Salvador, and Itapua was. I was on the beach. I'll never forget that. And all of a sudden, I went into the water, and my bathing suit fell down. And it wasn't embarrassing me. I just pulled it up again and went on about my business. But it wasn't. It was just funny.
Well, that would have been mine for an embarrassing moment. So, again, you're you. Dream destination.
I still want to do. I want to do Vietnam again because I think it's just a phenomenal place. And also, I'd like to go back to. I suppose back to Fiji. Because that's a great destination too.
Yeah,
There's
I
so many
think
places.
Fijians are the friendliest people in the world. In my
Bula bula.
yeah. Um, okay, two questions left. What's the most important thing travel has taught you?
um, to just relax and you know what I say, pack a sense of humor. That's the most important thing when you travel, so you can laugh with other people and laugh at yourself. It doesn't really matter. It's an experience, and in life you have to have a great experience.
It's true. It's true. And I guess we could use that as your best travel tip, but do you have another travel tip?
My world is your world, so get up, get out, and travel.
All right. I'm about to sneeze, by the way. Excuse me 1 second. I didn't sneeze.
Ah.
I sneeze now. Sorry, my allergies.
Oh my.
Before we go, where can people find you, John?
They can find me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/GlobeTrotter TV 3. That's the number 3, by the way.
Okay. And are you in social media at all?
That is. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and what's the other one that I
Twitter,
just said?
Instagram?
I'm on Twitter too, but I don't keep up with that as much because, I have a life. I mean, it's just too much.
It is. It is. Well, John, thank you so much for taking the time. It's always great to catch up with you. I look forward to the days we can travel again.
Absolutely.
And thanks again.
Thank you. What a great joy. Good to see you, even though it's not in person. It's good to see you. And you're healthy and your family's healthy. And that's what's important.
It's very true. Very true.
All the best.
You too.